Hi all, welcome back to Oops with C++, session 44. In previous session, we have discussed about static data members and usage of static member functions. So in the same way, today we are going to discuss about constant data members, how to use it inside a class. Okay. So before going to that, just have a quick review on what exactly mean by constant data. Okay. So any variable prefixed with const keyword will be treated as a constant. Okay, and a constant variables will be value is read only. So means once you have assigned some value to the constant data members, it is fixed, it cannot be changed throughout the program. Okay, so constant variables has to be declared and defined, means assigning the value in the same line. Okay, and declaration and definition of constant cannot be in two different lines. What do you mean by declaration and definition? We'll see that just with one program now. Okay, so here observe here in this program I have one normal variable int a equals to 100, cout a equals to endl. So this particular portion, this is called declaration of the variable, and this is assignment. So here generally when you say declaration and definition, it is actually definition, but when you say there will be something like extern keyword we have used, right? Extern int a. This will be only declaration. Okay, right. So now here we are giving declaration and definition. For example, we are giving the value a equals to 100, something like this. Okay, means so this is allowed. This is since it is a normal variable, it is allowed, right? Have declared int a. So later what I'm doing is a equals to 100. Okay, so it is allowed. Now what I will do is this is working fine. I have to make this one as const. So anything with const keyword. So const int a. Now a is declared as a constant, means it is a read only. Once the value is assigned, it cannot be changed. So for example, what you want is you want to create a constant where data member, you want to assign the value a equals to 100. So but what will happen is inside a stack, when you are giving like this constant a, memory will be allocated for this a, as well as it will be initialized with some garbage value since it is a static. Okay, sorry, since the memory is in stack, the value for the local variables will be assigned with some garbage value. Now the garbage value is initialized in the memory of a in the read only segment. Now what we are doing is we are trying to reinitialize that value here, a equals to 100, we are assigning it. So this is illegal operation. Okay, it won't be allowed. Okay, save this program. Okay, now compile it once again. See, we are getting error. So uninitialized const a declaration and definition. Sorry, assignment of read-only variable a is not allowed. Means this is not allowed. If you want to assign the value 100 to a, so here itself you have to give, that is a equals to 100. Okay, this is declaration and definition. Okay, so you both the value assignment has to be present here only. You cannot give it after this line. That is not allowed. Okay, now compile it. It's compiled successfully. Now you are getting the value. So this is the property. So what is the main thing here? Any variable, any data member, it is if it is prefixed with const, then that variable will be treated as a constant value, constant variable. And the declaration and definition for that variable has to be present in the same line. You cannot say I will declare this variable here, and then again I will try to assign the value something like this. So that is not allowed. If you want to assign any value, it has to be present in the same line. Okay. So because why it is not allowed? Once you have given just simply const int a, then that will be actually a declaration and definition. Okay, and it is assigned with some garbage value. Again, you cannot give this value a equals to 100. Okay, so this is not allowed. This is the normal scenario. This is what we have learned in C. Okay, now um, so that's the thing. So any variable prefixed with const keyword will be treated as constant. Okay, constant variable value is read only. Once you have assigned some value, you cannot change it. Once the value is assigned, it cannot be modified throughout the program. Okay, so constant variables has to be declared and defined in the same line. In the same line only you have to give. And you cannot say declaration I will give once and definition I will give in different line. That is not allowed. So now, how about, so what is the syntax we have used? Any data type, either integer, character, float, whatever it may be, the data type and that variable value name and equals to some value. So before to this, you need a const keyword. Okay, this is the syntax. Now, how to write a constant data members inside a class? Okay, so now, so before going to this, we will see how to write. We'll try to write. We will follow the same behavior. Okay. So vi constant, right. So yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a constant keyword here. Const int const data. So inside my class, it is under private section. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm just following the generic way. So my class int value equals 10 and I am assigning the constant data equals to value. Here I am returning it. Okay, now let's compile this, whether it is compiling or not. No, it is not allowed. I cannot give it. Okay, so what is the behavior we have discussed? So constant data members declaration and definition has to be present in the same line. Okay, so let's do one thing. It is taking C++ 11 standards also. Okay, so what I will do is I will try to compile it with C++98 standard. Okay, same error. Now what I will do, I will follow the method, say declaring and defining at the same line. Okay, so 10 something I have given. Okay, this is not allowed. Yeah. Okay, so now let's compile this. See, still error minus std equals to C++98. Okay, uninitialize constant member. Here I am trying to initialize, right? It is not allowing. Why it is not allowing? Oh, sorry, I have not saved this. Yeah, so it is working, but can you see here? There is something like warning non-static data members initializer only available with std C++11. From 11 only it is available. It is a warning, but warnings also has to be considered as a errors. Okay, in the projects. Okay, so it is not allowed because such type of initialization is allowed only in from C++11. So we are compiling it with C++19. So since my compiler version is supporting C++11, C++17 also, that's why I'm just giving, I'm getting warning. So if you have pure C++ 98 standard, then it will be considered as an error. So then This is as per old C++ standards. This is not allowed. You cannot initialize it. So then what is the solution? The solution is there will be one thing called, say, whenever we are creating the object, what will happen is immediately constructor will get called to initialize that, right? Okay. So what we want is we want something to be triggered as soon as the object is getting created and initialize our constant data member. So for that we need constructor, and there is something like they have introduced some concept like member initializer list. So by using member initializer list, we are going to assign the values for the constant members. Okay. Now let's see how to do that. So just like normal data members, we can have constant data members also inside the class. Since the constant data members are declared and defined at the same line, constant data members of a class has to be initialized in constructors member initializer list. So as soon as object is created, constructor will be called and the member initializer list will be executed first, then the definition of the constructor will be executed. So what is happening is here, as soon as the object is getting created, so we know, so object creation will happen in two stages. That is, one is allocating memory for this object, and second is initialization. So as soon as the memory is allocated, what we have to do is before executing the definition of the constructor itself, we need the data members has to be get initialized. So for that there is something concept called member initializer list. So this is member initializer list, put colon, then give const data. So means this constant data member name, and open brace, the open this curved braces. Here you provide the value, whatever value you want to assign, you can give this like this. Okay. So constant data members can be initialized with member initialized list only. Okay. This is the only way you can assign the value for this. Okay. But from C++ 11 onwards, you can assign the value here also. But in C++98, we can assign the value here only. Okay, we can assign the value through member initializer list only. Okay, so now let's compile this program. See, it's working fine. Very good. Added out constant object constant data value is 10. Okay, so now what I will do is I will try to modify here. I will open this. Will it work now? It's error. Why it is error? Because the value is initialized here already, right? The value is initialized already here. Again, you are trying to re-initialize it. That is not allowed. Once the value is assigned to this, it is fixed. You cannot modify this. This is not allowed. So throughout the program for this object, the constant data value is 100. That is, so this is default argument constructor. Same constructor will work as a default constructor, zero argument constructor, as well as parameterized constructor. If you have doubt about this, then go to my session of default argument functions, then you can understand that one. Okay, so this is what this is how we can assign the values to the constant data members inside the class. Okay, by using member initializer list. Okay, so let me show you another way. Okay, I will just come back. Okay, so now, so what is the syntax we have followed for this constant data members in a class? Okay, that is, you have a class name. So provide const keyword, data type, data member. Don't give any initialization here. Okay, that is allowed from C++11 standard onwards. From the constructor, you provide the colon, colon, and the constant data member name, and the what value you are trying to assign, that you can give, and the definition, and whatever is present in the member initializer, this is called member initializer list. Okay, so whatever is present in the member initializer list, that will be executed before executing the definition of the constructor. And the member initializer list will be applicable only for constructor. You cannot give the member initializer list for the normal functions. Okay, normal member functions. It will be having, it can be have only with constructors. So that's why we call it as constructors member initializer list. Okay, right. Now going back to the program, so what I can do is here, right now, sorry, what I'm doing is I'm following the C++ 11 standard here. Okay, so I have commented this. So what I'm doing is instead of C++ 98, I'm using C++11. Uh, shit, I have not saved. Okay, it is saved now. See, it is working fine. So from C++11 onwards, it is allowed. Okay. So then what is the use of this? What is the difference between this? Okay. So here, whichever class, which irrespective of how many objects you are going to create, for every object, the value will be fixed. Say for example, uh, say you can give one example like this. Okay. You have a class called circle. Okay. And there is one constant present in this, that is const float the pi value. So pi value is always 3.142. So irrespective of what is the radius you have, so constructor so here what I can do is, okay, so this is the constant value, and what I can do is I can give the float radius. Okay, so here you can provide circle float radius. So radius equals, see, not only constant data members, you can also initialize non-constant data members also using member initializer list. So that is like this. Okay. Ready. So here, what will happen is I'm just trying to get area. So here, how to do the calculation of area? Pi r square, right? Pi into radius into radius. Okay. So this value I have to return. Okay. So this is the area. Now I'm creating a circle of circle C1, which is of a radius of 2.25 f. Okay. And C2, which is of 5.25 f with a radius. Okay. So here, irrespective of how many objects you create, C1, C2, for all the objects, the pi value is constant, that is 3.142. Okay, so it cannot be modified. If you find, if you have a situation where you want to create a variable with a default constant value for all the objects, then you can go for this, and it is possible from C++11 onwards, not in C++98 standard. Okay, so C++98 it won't work. Okay, so now I can say cout area C1 dot get area, right? So we can have C2 also here, C2 area. Okay, now compile this with the C++11 standard. See, we are getting the area value differently for 2.25 and 5.25. So the value is fixed, pi value is fixed for all the objects. Okay, and this is different. So constant here obj, now what I'm doing is for obj I have given 100. Okay, so for another object I'm creating obj2. For this I want to give the constant value as 200. Okay, so this is different, right? So every object is having its own constant. Now, so here this is obj2. Sorry. Here, this one I will remove this one. Okay, yeah, right. Now compile this program. See, so object 1 is having constant data value as 100 and object 2 is having constant data value as 200. Okay, so like this. But this is applicable from C++11 standard onwards. Okay, right. So better always follow. So depend on your situation. Like so, if you are keeping a constant value for all the objects, then go with this method. And each object is having his own constant value for the constant data member, then use the member initializer list. Okay, right. So this is the syntax. So provide the value for the constant data member in member initializer list, and whatever is present under member initializer list that will be executed first before the definition of the constructor. And member initializer list is applicable only for the constructor, not for any other normal member functions. Okay, now there are some points you have to remember for this. So that is constant data members has to be declared and defined in the same line. Constant data members of a class has to be initialized by using only member initializer list of the constructor. So here I'm just focusing on C++98 standards. So okay, so not C++11 standard. So initializer list of the constructor is executed first before its definition of the constructor. Okay, so non-constant data members can also be initialized in member initializer list of the constructor. So not only constant data members, even you can initialize non-constant data members also inside by using member initializer list. So once the value is initialized by member initializer list of the constant data member, then the value is read only and it cannot be changed. Okay, it is read only property, it cannot be modified. Okay, so that's for today and hope you have understood the concept. Okay, so thanks for watching.